I don't drink, so this could be like really
I know you don't drink. But
Cheers.
Yeah, man.
Let's do it.
I see cups on the table.
There are some cups on the table. Yeah. So I don't really want to bury the lead, but we'll maybe get to those in a little bit.
All right.
So I did have this idea, and hey, the best part about editing is that no one ever has to see this. So we were actually talking about one of my bonuses. So let's just go straight unfiltered. As you know, I'm a very money motivated employee. Yeah. So I think from the last 5 years I've worked at Augusta, for those who don't know, I've worked at Augusta for a little over 5 years now. Every year my job has actually changed, which has been really cool. I think for me, I was never the person that was like, I'm going to go to this college, I'm going to do this thing with my life, and I'm going to go here. I think I bounced around from like this thing to that thing. Like in high school, just looking at that career, if you will, like baseball, DJ, prom, like I was involved in all of it, but I wasn't like super passionate about any one thing. And I think that has been cool for me to get, I guess, that range, right? There's a great book out there called The Range by David Epstein. Talks about how generalists can thrive in a specialized world. Nowadays, there's so many specialties. I think that's given me a lot of cool perspective in life. But I think now, having realized the last 5 years of my career at Augusta have always been changing, I think I'm settling into like a specific career path. Have you thought that, or have you noticed that?
I don't know.
I know you haven't like thought about me personally, but
like sales, and yeah. Why? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think I'm just like moving toward. Pigeonhole's the wrong word.
Well, yeah,
but
that typically as you move up an org or an organization grows, if you're at the top of it, you're going more niche.
You're siloed, right? A little bit.
Like you get labor and then manager of labor, and then you start moving into leader. So yeah.
Yeah. No. So I just thought like year one was labor. Year two is kind of like project manager, right? Yeah. I started to get more of the big projects assigned to me. I did the patios, the walls, this, that, and the other. Year three was like estimator. Year four was general manager, and then year five has been kind of franchise business consultant, sales, and coaching. So now I'm like, well, is year six just the same thing?
I don't know, man. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's definitely more money.
Okay. That's not what I'm worried about. That's the thing. I'm not really worried about that. I guess I started by talking about my bonus, but that was more just, hey, that's what we were talking about this morning. Yeah. And like, I honestly want this podcast to be good for business owners and employees and managers, because obviously at the end of the day, yes, you and I have a great relationship. I would consider it a professional friendship, but like at the end of the day, you're my boss. You could fire me at any moment, and I'm your employee, and I could give you my 2 weeks tomorrow,
that's
right?
Episode 13. If you guys want to skip ahead,
yeah, right. So we still have that dynamic. I think the transparency that we can provide to others will be valuable. So I just didn't know if you had given thought to that. You know, now that you've kind of seen me lay out my role, is it, you know, do you start siloing me, or do you keep me as more of a generalist, kind of at the top with you and Liz, or what does that look like for you? And this, like I said, the public never has to see this.
Yeah, I think I think what we've done over the past few years is a lot of growth and into new channels, which really has been the franchise. You became more involved in the franchise in the past year. I think that we probably have a good 3 years of doing the boring work. Now we've built the systems, and now it's like, now we scale it, right? So you came on at 50, got us to 100. We kind of stopped there. Mm-hmm. We said, hey, like, let's just stick around. This really, like the past year, we haven't sold very many.
Right.
Now, I think the thing that I'd be pushing for is like, you know, over the next few years for you to see the hockey stick to up to 500.
Cool. Yeah.
And then it's a matter of like, well, where do you go from there? I don't know. I have a feeling you'd actually stay relatively in the same spot as we grow over the next few years, but then you'd probably end up investing more. So like you'd probably start some locations or do other stuff.
Yeah.
And then I don't know where it's going to go after that.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like at the manager's meeting, like, we want numbers. I'm like, I don't really have numbers for you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, at our last manager's meeting, like, I think Lonnie and I, Lonnie, who's our manager over at the command center, she's awesome to work with. I think we were both like, well, we're goal-oriented people. And, you know, I don't know what at the end of the day drives her, but I know at the end of the day what drives me is like having a vision, like having pride in my work. Like, I want to work for something that I see as valuable. And then secondarily, as you know, like I'm very money motivated. Like if there's a dollar sign, like I want to achieve it. If there's a number, I'm going to hit it. Yeah. And like no one's going to prove me wrong because I believe I can get there. And so not necessarily about the money side, but I'm just interested to see like, do I get siloed? Not in a bad way, I guess specialized is a better term, a more positive term. Am I more specialized in like a sales role, teaching sales, doing outside sales, building a sales team? Like that's what Hormozy talks about a lot, right? Alex Hormozy, building great sales teams. But at the same time, like we've never really built a franchise together. So do we need a sales team? I don't know.
Yeah, like the thing, you and Liz are both unique in the fact that you've really seen every position of Augusta all the way up.
Yeah.
So you both kind of have seen you've been the generalist for so long. I think over the next year or two, it'll seem like it's a siloing, but then what'll happen is it'll actually go the opposite direction as you now have to start scaling out the individual departments.
Right.
So there will be a sales team. There will be a team of coaches. And so like you have to have trainers for the salespeople. You have to have trainer for the coaches. Like, so that's what it'll probably be over the next 3 years is evolving into a leadership role of your current role. The same way that Chuck was a GM and is now a regional manager for what was going to be 8 GMs, right? So I think it'll just be scaling what's currently there. And then you'll go from being more quote unquote pigeonholed into actually like the opposite happening because now you'll be leading a department of what you're currently doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, just interesting. So I don't know. Thought I'd bring it up
because currently we need about one coach per 70 to 80 franchisees.
Right.
So, we're good now, but I think that as we hit like 400, 500, 600, that's when you have a team of franchise business consultants. You have a team of like, okay, and just really systematize every single part of it more and more. And we're starting to get better and better at like the coaching calls, the scorecards for each call. Right. That will become like laser-like focus in terms of systems for what that looks like as it scales. So as it scales, like we kind of built the infrastructure. Now at 100, we stop, slow down, and now I feel like we go to 500 with quote-unquote relative ease. Yeah. And so who knows what that's going to entail.
Yeah. The coaching call card, this is just a random thought. Have you ever shared that with the public? Like what that looks like?
No.
Is that keeping it close to the vest?
Keeping it close to the vest.
I feel like for some people, like doing the introduction calls, obviously I know you did hundreds before me, but I feel like accountability is a big thing that people, why you would join a franchise, right? At the end of the day, like you said, it's the only reason. So I almost feel like that just like, you can see this, but you can't use it.
Yeah, as you know, that like when we do sales, like it's a little different. We don't use a lot of those tactics. Like, yes, I know that there's certain things I could kind of hint at or show and things like that. But ultimately, like if someone's going to be tricked into becoming a franchisee or even like sold on it, they can be tricked out of it. They can be sold out of it. So it's like, look, either you're going to be part of Augusta Nation, and this is like a long-term commitment together that we make to you and you make to us, and we're going to be better together, and we're going to be able to get through the hard times of our relationship and still realize it's better together. But being sold into it is not like a great strategy, in my opinion. Totally. And so, yeah, as you know, like it's very informative-based selling that we do, answering questions and, taking down objections, but it's not... Here's what you could have, but now it's not there. Like, cause like once that thing has been known to them and they actually know, they've seen the coaching card. Yeah. Like you see that 12 times in 1 year, it now is no longer, it's lost its shine. Right. Right. So if you come for the shine goes away. Right. You've got to come for the fact that there is accountability. There are people to fall back on. There's systems and procedures in place for you to copy and paste your business model. And that's why you come. Yeah. I've actually noticed, I guess, habit I've formed on my introductory sales calls. So I kind of just do general warm up, get to know you, where are you from? Oh, is that home or did you move there? Right. And then I just kind of get to know my prospect, if you will. So I like to know family, current business, long-term goals, why Augusta, how they found you, how they found us. And then as soon as I do that, I kind of have a transition phrase where I go to like opening it up more to a discussion and getting their questions. And I always just pop and I look at the clock real quick because I want to see like how much time to like waste because it is informative selling. And I'm like, if I waste too much time at the beginning of the call, like they might not get through all their questions. So I want to get to know my prospect quickly so that I can answer their questions in a way that best serves them. Right. Yeah. And like, we don't have a script, right? So it's a little different. So there's sometimes you take 20 minutes just getting to know them. Yeah. And that's fine. And then other times like 3 minutes and they're like, okay, so I want to know about this and this and this. And it's like, okay, let's roll with that. Right. Yeah. So it's a little bit different too, the way we sell. So anyways, rabbit hole there, but it was good. But you did mention a number in there. So I thought we'd, we're lower highs, higher lows. 500? But no, we hit 100. So we officially hit 100. Yeah. I think we could say that. It's pretty cool. I think it's active cool. Locations. Active locations, 100 active locations. We hit 100 before, but we had a few closures along the way. Yeah, yeah. So we've theoretically hit 100, but we're officially at 100 active locations. A couple are coming to training here in December. But I thought, we'd celebrate a little bit. Oh, yeah. You want us to celebrate? Just like the smallest amount of celebration, the smallest amount. So I know, that why the cups are here. Yeah, yeah. So I got the cups. So here's a cup. Doing, like, I got to be careful here. Eggnog, apple cider. I don't drink, so this could be like really anticlimactic.
I know you don't drink, but I'm a big water guy. So I got the best sparkling
Essentia?
water. No. So I thought about doing my Essentia bet. I got you the best sparkling water.
Let's go.
So this stuff is actually, it's really good. It's an Alpine distillery.
Cheetah Mountains.
Yeah, dude. It's an Alpine distillery.
Oh, dude. That was a setup, bro.
It's very sparkling. And then I got some other stuff, but people probably don't want to watch us eat. We're not an ASMR podcast. But if you don't know, Mike's favorite food, and actually mine, is chips.
Let's go.
Chips. So we got some paleo chips.
Oh, made with avocado oil.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
And a little bit of organic guac.
Let's go.
So we're probably not going to eat it on screen.
Let's go.
But I got the good stuff. Cheers.
Yeah, man.
Cheers. All right. We're jumping in.
That's good.
Here's what I wanted to do is on your main channel, Mike Andy's YouTube.
Yeah.
You've been doing Business Bootcamp.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask about the demonetization.
That would have been a better question. That would have been a way better question. Let's just bury the lead. Maybe we'll talk about that after because I kind of wanted to wrap up Business Bootcamp with kind of long-term goals for the channel. So I think that's a good point. So yeah, that's egg on my face there. Business Bootcamp Season 1. So you did, is it the idea you've toyed with before? You obviously had a podcast called Business Bootcamp. Do you still post on that one?
No.
Okay.
Now it's just Mike Andy show.
Okay, that's what I figured. So Business Bootcamp Season 1, what you guys did is picked 4 people in the home services industry. So not all landscapers, hopefully diversifying that more. And maybe just what I wanted to do is do kind of a behind the scenes. So obviously people can go to your main channel, they can watch the long form videos. I think the longest one's like 50 minutes. Phenomenal editing job. Shout out to Steven and Zach for everything they did. And all the guys that were featured on it. So maybe just give me some behind the scenes. What are some things that people don't see? How did you select maybe those 4? Like how many submissions did you get roughly, and how did you select those guys?
I think we got about 30 submissions. A lot of them were good. How we select them is a couple things. Number one, they got to be good on camera because they got to film themselves for 30 straight days.
Yeah.
So what some people don't realize is that we require them to upload to Google Drive every single day. Okay, so this is gonna make me burp.
I know.
Like a bunch.
It's extremely bubbly. My bad.
Every single day I have to upload. It's a lot of work actually for them. Not so much the videoing as much as the uploading. Like it's a lot of work. Actually, what it does though is allows me to not have to do as much video editing or video recording. So back in the day when we did daily videos, I would have to record at least 2 or 3 times a week and I have to come with concepts. And now I show up to a call 1 time a week for 30 minutes with each of them.
So for 2 hours.
That one was 2 hours. And I just do it 1 time, knock it out. And that was all the media work I had to do for the whole week.
And probably less than 5 minutes of prep per call. Or do you do a little more?
No, Zach would do everything. So he would
just gives you a sheet.
He'd be like, hey, this is what they're going through.
Cool.
This is the kind of a summary. And I'll be like, okay, I'm probably going to need to talk about this, this, and this. That'll become the storyline. So we're still getting better at this. Season 1 was a good learning experience. Season 2 is going to be way better. Yeah. By the time this comes out, Season 2, Episode 1 will be out. You'll see now we sent the media team to them.
Yeah, okay.
Better establishing shots. Because the challenging part is you can't make, like Season 1, you can't make a great show based on someone just doing selfie.
Right.
You got to have some good shots. So we're going to invest more into it and send out the media team before. So it's going to be way better. Season 2 is going to be fantastic. We'll get better at the video side. Editing is already nailed, I feel like. The story is where we have to improve. How do we create a story? And it is difficult because most operators and business owners don't move fast enough to make 4 good episodes in one season. This is what we're hitting up against right now. Because, for example, I know we'll jump in these more deep, but Aaron, for example, he the concept was the same throughout the entire season, which is he has a bunch of debt, hardly any cash in the bank, and he likes to buy equipment. And so that was established in Episode 1, and it did really well, Episode 1.
Right.
But then we consistently saw the drop in each episode simply due to the fact that the story didn't change very much. Whereas if you look at CNBC, The Prophet with Marcus Lemonis, that is shot over the course of 6 to 12 months. So there's a lot of twists and turns. People get fired, things change in the same 45-minute episode, but we only have 30 days. So it's less likely that big things happen. And so it's harder to make a storyline without just it being the same story repeated in different variations 4 times. So that's what we're working on. We don't even know if down the road it will just be a month. We don't know if we'll have combinations of people. So Season 2 is obviously just 2 instead of 4 participants. We're going to test that out, see if it's easier to keep a storyline consistent. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. No, I thought it was great. I think it was extremely informative. So you had Aaron, Carter, Dylan, and then I'm blanking on the headband movers.
David.
David. Yeah. So
what's crazy is you get to know them really well. Like on our end, even though I wasn't watching their daily videos, just the fact that I spent 2 hours over the past month talking to them, like that's more than most human beings in my life.
Yeah.
So like I got to know them really well, and then obviously like you're dissecting what they're doing too, and we're talking about the media team and what's up.
Do you think you would ever do like a later check-in, like a year later?
Definitely, 100%.
I think that would be really cool, because I know a lot of like reality shows will do that, or they'll do like a sit down or whatever. So
we need more money, because then what we need to do is get more editors, so that what we can do is drag the story out further than 30 days. I'd like to do like a 6-month one. Yeah. But the problem is that means you got to follow someone's story for 6 months and have like one editor on that team, and then you've got to take the videos they're giving you, because we don't go out and shoot. Right. It costs millions of dollars. So we don't do that. So we depend on their videos, but it's actually just as hard to like stitch everything together and make a story out of it. So what we're really working on in season 2 and beyond is like having storylines that we don't curate, and this is all real. These are not acting. Right. But we need to have a storyline for each episode, instead of just taking what footage they give us for the week and then trying to make something of it. It's too hard. It doesn't captivate the audience enough. Yeah. I
think, speaking as, an audience member, because I was not involved in this project in any way, obviously we work together, but I'm not involved with the media team. I think, I watched episode 4 and I was like, man, like, I feel like we're just getting started. Like, I feel like I know the guys, I know their stories. And then you had, David, who did a no-show call, and it's like, that stinks to like end on it. And that's not me ragging on him. I'm just like, man, I wish I got more of his story, because I feel like I just started to get to know him. So I think, maybe more long form, not in the length of the videos, but in the timeline of those stories. And
not needing weekly check-ins. Like, in the perfect world, we'd probably do 4 episodes every other month for 8 months. Because over 8 months, lots changes. Yeah. People leave, employee drama, big customer acquisition, big contracts, blow ups. And that's what the Prophet is able to capture. That's why the show is so cool. Right. But we just don't have the resources, because you need several editors. You also need someone curating every single day. We're in touch with these guys. Like, the media team gets all the credit for Business Bootcamp, because every day they have to watch the footage. They're directing. They're kind of being director from afar. Right. So we're just gonna get better and better. The reason I'm committed to Business Bootcamp is twofold. One, it's something that we can do over and over and over again, get better and better and better until it's like Hollywood level. And I think we can get there in 5 to 10 episodes or seasons. And then the second reason we want to do it is because I believe if someone watches the 20th episode of Business Bootcamp and they like it, they'll go watch the other 19. Whereas in the past, the content I've made is like, here's the thing about door hangers. Here's something about marketing.
It's one-off.
Hiring. They'll watch one video, they get what they need, they're out. Yep. The algorithm is not going to like us because now we're posting way less. They don't like that. Right. So we're down in views. But what's going to happen, in my opinion, is once we hit like 3, 4, 5 seasons, and there's a chunk of videos, someone watches one and they watch all of them, YouTube loves that. Yeah. They will push our videos so much when someone watches, like stumbles into our video, watches one and then watches 20 other videos, like, they're all in. Yeah. So that's the goal.
Yeah, that's cool. I really like that. I think, the guys that you picked are great. And I think, one of my favorite shows, I don't really watch a ton of TV anymore, but one of my favorite shows for a while was Bar Rescue with John Taffer, right? Real. He's a restaurant mogul, right? Yeah. He knows the food and service industry like the back of his hand. And but what he does is he's taking distressed businesses, and that's not necessarily the angle you guys are going for, because a distressed business is easy to create, like, all this fake drama, but like, how much help are you providing them from afar? Or are you almost like burdening them more? Do you feel like you were ever like burdening, or do you feel like the media team ever felt like they were burdening the owners
to get the footage?
To get the footage, or to, like, do you think that maybe the participants felt like they had to facilitate or create drama?
No, because I feel like if we showed up with cameras, it's 10 times more that feeling from the employees. Right? The owner's indifferent, like they're there for whatever. But the employees are way more authentic, I feel, if there's not a bunch of third-party cameras stuck in their face. And so what you got to realize on The Prophet and all these other, it's all been scripted. Even if it's an authentic reaction, it has been set up for the videos. Right. So even just doing this, I will watch, if the CNBC ever posts another The Prophet episode. Goodness gracious. Like, hey, there's someone who can take Marcus's spot. Yeah. Anyways, if and when I watch another episode, I will pick up on so much more. Yeah. Because what I'll pick up on is, okay, this was the storyline. this is how they set it up. They made sure the camera was there. They had a meeting place for these two people to meet and hash something out, but it was all scripted. Not scripted in the fact like, here's your lines, but it takes a producer to figure this stuff out. And that's something that Zach has kind of been playing that role, but he has a whole bunch of other stuff we're doing. In the perfect world, I have another full-time editor, so we could have 2 storylines go at the same time, so we could post more frequently, like every week instead of every 10 to 14 days. And I'd also have a full-time producer, which would be just getting all the videos from 4 to 8 different businesses and then keeping the storylines entailed. Like, okay, this is what they're doing this week. Oh, can you please get a shot of that happening? So there's a lot of room for us to improve. And so just as we get more money, I just want to make it better and better and better. And I do feel like in a year, like we could get it to the level of like the Prophet.
Yeah. I think a good word for, you were saying like, it's not scripted. I think staged is a better word, right? Because you're putting an element of like, okay, this big moment's going to happen.
It's prompted.
We're not prompted, staged. I think that's a better way, prompted. So what do you feel, what was like your favorite part? Like just honestly, was it certain conversations with certain guys? Was it seeing maybe one of them grow a little bit more? I know there were a couple heartfelt moments that we might get into, but
yeah, at the end, definitely they're all very heartfelt moments because like you're done with this month-long challenge. On my end, I've only talked to them 4 times.
Right.
They have been making videos for the media team every single day for a month.
Yeah.
So it's actually a big done wrap up for them. And so what I thought was really cool, what was special for me is like that I really did feel at the end of the month, there was meaningful impact.
Good.
And what I didn't want is it's just like a show and like we kind of like make up that like, people do better, but like I could meaningfully say like after a month, all of them had something actionable. They changed their business. The direction of their company was changed. And like, I was happy. I would have liked to have 3 to 6 months. Cause then you can actually like not only see the change in direction, but also see the outcome. So that's what we'll have to do, follow up.
Yeah.
But that adds a lot of credibility to the show. And so we definitely need to follow up with them. But the problem is I've course corrected some of them and like got the right direction. But that's why like coaching calls for franchisees is so important. You got to keep them on. Like I guarantee you half of the business boot campers after a month, they'll be like the directional change. And if I check them in 6 months later, they'll be right back to where they were doing before. Yeah. And that's where I'm afraid. But best feeling was, like the 4th episode, really looking at the show. And like, it was our first season. I'm like, okay, did we make meaningful impact? Yes. Did we have to create drama? No. Like it was all authentic and I was proud of that. And like, we got to do a way better job of making sure it reaches a wider audience. And we can do a lot to improve that.
Yeah. I want to get specific to one of those heartfelt moments, okay? Because as an audience member, I did read the comments, and there were some people ragging on Aaron, and I got to meet Aaron in person, but I feel like he got dragged a little bit in the comments. 100%. But then he was in the comments responding and laughing it off, and honestly, I think he's a genuine guy with a good heart, and he really is doing what he thinks is best. But at the end, you had a very heartfelt moment, and you were like, "Hey, love you, man. Like, appreciate you." So, like, do you feel like he's gonna heed a lot of your advice? Do you feel like, obviously, there's still room for growth? I think we all can see that. I mean, hey, if you're honest with yourself, we all have room for personal growth. But where do you feel like he's headed? I think that's what most people honestly are interested in right now.
I feel like he's very impressionable, and he's influenceable. He's like wet cement, which is great trait to have, and that's why people usually relate well with people and like have a good personality. Is they have they're impressionable. The problem with that is I feel like we made a lot of headway in a month, but unfortunately I feel like there are surrounding influences that he is involved with in the landscaping community that are going to dissuade him from what I've taught him. And I don't know if he'll be able to overcome those. I hope he does. I would love in 6 months to be able to say, yeah, he has $50,000, $60,000 in his bank, no more debt. I don't think that's going to happen, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. Now, if someone doesn't want to get dissuaded from those things, is there maybe a conference they could attend that would not talk about that's
the thing. He is going to come to conference for 3 solid days.
That's awesome.
In January, right? So
Very cool.
If he gets off course, I hope that kind of helps Landscape Summit. I don't know. I think he has a 50-50 chance. I think all the other people, I give him a higher probability. My concern with him is he is impressionable, and he is surrounded himself with people that are going to push him towards debt, big equipment, big projects, which is not the way he should be going right now.
Interesting. So I did bury the lead a little bit.
Okay.
Demonetization. So 2 days ago, just 2, right? 2 days ago, you made the official post.
Yeah.
I think it was on Monday or Sunday night. Either way, doesn't matter. You basically said, I'm taking off ads from my YouTube channel. What's going through your mind there, guy?
So Saturday, I don't know why, but on my computer, I couldn't log into my typical account. So I used a different YouTube account. I was watching some videos while I was working.
Yep.
I forget what I was watching. Oh, you know what? I was going on the rabbit trail of this other. It's about I spend my long weekends typically recording for MBA course and landscape business course, and then typically thinking about the media side. Yep. I know that is like where I need to spend some time focusing on the future, the direction, right? So, was watching stuff about media. Anyways, like every single video that I was watching, and when I go to my channel, was like these scam artist people, dudes. Like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, women, cash.
Yeah.
Whiteboard on the beach. Like you can live like the FBA fulfillment by Amazon garbage. So I was like, it's annoying. And then I parlayed that with already last week what happened with FTX scandal, the established titles. Have you heard about this?
No.
Established titles where they were selling like a square foot in Scotland.
Oh yes, I have heard of this. Garbage. Yeah, that's horrible. I know someone that bought one.
Oh my gosh.
I tried, like, I just like couldn't say anything because if I would have laughed. Like, why would you? Anyways.
So all of that was happening with other content creators having to apologize, give their money back, all this stuff. And everyone ties me to two people right now because they're kind of doing similar things. Meet Kevin and what's his name?
I know Meet Kevin. I don't know.
No, I know.
Graham Stephan?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That was my guess, but.
So everyone's linking me to those two. However, Graham Stephan talking about it didn't happen until the day after. So Sunday, I posted my post at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. 9:30 is when the iced coffee hour came out, and Graham really starts talking about the dilemma of his FTX thing and what he should do and all the rest of it.
They promoted it hard.
Oh, yeah.
On all his channels.
They took down a whole channel on Millennial Money because of it.
Wow.
The whole channel's down.
Wow.
So I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, number one, sponsor people, which I never sponsor people. Secondarily, which this one is like where everyone's like, it's not bad, so bad, because you're not actually making the posts, you're not actually promoting them, but Google is, and I get a cut of it, 50%, 60, I think I get 55% of all the ad revenue. So one side of me is like, well, then I should just take the money because they're going to run the ad regardless. Right? So I've already in the past removed all the mid-roll ads because it's just annoying as all get out.
Super annoying.
But the pre-roll ad, they're going to run regardless, and they're going to keep their money. However, I don't want any of that money because that money is created by people clicking. So basically, I'm getting them some money because people are clicking on these scams that are typically before me. Why? Because I'm a young male. A lot of my audience is young males that is trying to make money, that's trying to be successful and have a business. That's who these people target.
Right.
So I don't want any of their money. I'm going to actively putting ad slots in that say, do not click on the ads. I'm going to say that. Do not click on the ads because 90% of them are garbage.
Yeah.
If YouTube comes out and allows me to block sponsors or advertisers, potentially I might do that. Now, those scam artists are willing to pay a abhorrent amount of money. And that's why my cost per thousand or revenue per thousand that I get is 2, 3, 4 times more than the average YouTube channel because it's finance, money, etc. Right. It's a high value listener. So these people are willing to pay out to wazoo for their garbage courses and stuff that they sell. Yeah. And because of them, I get looped in with all of them. And so I hate their guts. Yeah. Right? They sell courses. I sell courses. I don't have anything to do with them. Yeah. Right? So I have to delineate myself from them 110%. And then I also have to say, I don't think it'll hurt me financially. Because it's a very small portion of our revenue. Although I could buy a brand new car every single year using the money. It's a small piece of our revenue. I think it will create goodwill with our audience. And ultimately, it'll allow me to bash the ads and create separation between my brand and their brand. And that's the goal.
So just, because you don't want to be standing on both sides of the fence.
Quote, check this out. I was ready for this, dude. I didn't even know we were going to record today.
Fantastic.
This morning I saw this. Gary V, your personal brand is a quote. Your personal brand is your reputation, and your reputation in perpetuity is the foundation of your career. Playing the long game and building your reputation always plays out in your favor. Thank you.
Yeah, I respect that. So, but my next question was going to be, what do you say to the person that says Mike Andes is grandstanding? He's just trying to look good.
They're right. About 50% of they're right, because I do believe that I am trying to look good. That's what my brand.
Optics.
I'm trying to look good. And I believe that in doing that, I will actually make more money. And I was honest in my post. I said, this is not about virtue signaling. Number one, there are creators that need to do this. That's how they make their money. That's not a bad deal. Secondly, I don't think I'm a good person or I'm doing this because I'm nice. I'm doing it because I think I'll make more money by distancing myself from these people, not taking a single penny from them, and then being able to bash the ads. And that way, when I do promote a product, which is typically my own, so I have control over it, so I don't have to apologize because I sponsored some garbage, then people should believe that what I'm talking about, I do believe in, versus the free money that I could just literally get by clicking 4 buttons, and it's not going to change the user experience at all. But I don't want any of that money because it's not money that I want to have.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're 50% right.
So would you ever partner or have someone as like a sponsor for a video?
No, I turned $50,000 down today.
Yeah. Can I ask from who?
A software, CRM software.
Just one time, or was it for recurring on a monthly basis? You had to post so many times?
12 episodes.
That's wild.
Just need 15 seconds.
Well, to that company, I will say C-Suite Unfiltered.
The link is in the description.
Link's in the description. No,
we take sponsors on this podcast. Let me be very clear.
I'll take a lot of sponsors on this podcast. Whatever you want me to sell, I'll sell it. I will make sure everyone is buying.
I'll sell my soul for $50,000.
I won't sell. No. Too far. But I will sell whatever products you have to offer if they are above board, like if they are. Kosher, if you will.
No, like ad money is relatively small, right? So I'll put some screenshot ups probably when I start bashing the ads. We're gonna do some screenshots.
Let's go.
So it was my revenue per 1,000. So I make about $11 per 1,000 views. My most money I've ever made is $6,100 per month recently, and we're trending in a good direction.
Yeah.
But that's going bye. So I could theoretically buy a new car every single year. Sell it for half as much at the end of the year and just be fine.
Yeah.
Just by clicking the 4 buttons. However, it's a small portion of revenue. Like the sponsorships, if I just said yes to sponsors, we could probably pull in $250,000 a year.
Whew.
I think pretty easily.
Yeah.
Because I just do choose sponsors. Right? I have someone offer me $50,000 for 12 episodes of Business Bootcamp for a 15-second slot in each. 15 seconds,
That's
bro.
Nothing.
Dude. It was very tempting, but it's not happening because I can't control that product. And I don't know what they're going to do in 5 years. Are they going to drop? They're going to roll up into some publicly traded company and I'm retracting my videos from... No, that's not happening. All that millennial money, that was great content. Millions of views. Lots of people were helped. And now it's all gone because they sponsored something for short-term money instead of just protecting the thing that they should, and as their brand.
I think if you are a millennial male, you saw the ad that I'm talking about. I can't think of the guy's name, but he's in his garage. And
Ty Lopez?
Ty Lopez, dude.
Yeah, what about him?
And he every millennial male saw his YouTube ad.
Dude, everyone on the planet saw it.
And he was like, I got
my garage.
I got the Ferrari here in my garage.
You got knowledge, bro.
Dude, but behind me, I'm proud of these
Ty
books.
Lopez is making a comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah, he flew under the radar for a couple of years to try to get his name cleaned out. He did a good job of that, and now he's coming back on social media. I think he's going to crush it.
Yeah. I have no idea what he sells. I saw those ads and it turned me out. Is it just courses? Is it?
Oh yeah,
business advice.
It's garbage, but he did a good job of cleaning his name by staying under the radar for 2 years, and now he's coming back with these feel good shorts, and he's crushing it.
Trying to go the Gary Vee route.
No,
relatable.
Feel good in terms of just pet cat stuff, people helping other people, and just growing like crazy. So he's gonna use that as a way to build up an audience that did not see that ad. That's what he's doing.
That's funny.
And he's gonna crush it.
Yeah. Shout out knowledge.
I don't like him.
Awesome. Cool. Well, let's wrap this episode up with a little bit of an article. So I love trying to bring maybe one article to the table for every episode.
Yeah.
So Forbes Advisors. They had an op-ed, if you will, and it was because a lot of...
What does op-ed stand for again?
Op-ed, it stands for yep.
I know what it means. See, okay. All right. Just
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Check with the editor.
Operational, editorial.
Sarah's not here today.
Yeah, Sarah's not here. Shout out.
She's reading her books.
Yeah, she is reading her book. She's probably we got the Christmas lights up. We're those people. We got the Christmas lights up. The fireplace is on. Day after Thanksgiving, we're going ham. Charlie Brown Christmas, Vince Grivaldi trio, the whole nine, dude. We're getting it. Forbes did an op-ed, so a lot of people are saying, hey, we're trending towards recession, right? Yeah. It's going to happen. All the experts, 2023, who knows what's going to happen, but it's happening. So I figured, hey, let's do a little research, and see what experts say are the 10 most recession-proof businesses. So this is an op-ed from Forbes, and they basically listed out 10 of the most recession-proof businesses.
Okay, alcohol has got to be on there.
So I don't think these are in any particular order.
Oh, okay.
And this is once again, opinion editorial, opinion edition, op.
Editorial sounds right.
But I think op is opinion.
Opinion and editorial, maybe.
I don't know.
Opinion editorial. That sounds right. That sounds good. Hey,
I think it is. I think it is. So
did you look it up?
Yeah. No. So this is the article, but it's in no particular order. So do you want to try to guess like all 10? What do you?
Okay.
I think it'd be
alcohol and tobacco have got to be on there.
Let's see.
And if it's not, they're lying.
Okay. So they have food and beverage businesses.
Yeah, right. That's what you call alcohol.
Oh, so they're going like Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash.
Oh,
that's what they're saying for food and beverage businesses.
Really?
Yeah.
I would not think that. I would think people would be eating it from home more. But anyways, that's just my guess. Alcohol, anything with recurring revenue, anything that is maintenance instead of projects, utilities. These people people will let go of their cars way before their house.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's why you're already seeing repos go up for cars, not so much in houses. Yeah. But the majority of it is what can you live without? That's what's going to cut.
Yeah. So I'll just read the title that they gave to each one, and they're like broad, right? It's not like this business, but it's more like this.
Like you need utilities, you need food, you need transportation, but that can be cut down some. You don't need like travel. So it's the bare necessities. That's what it usually does well. So
their number one, once again, no particular order, home improvement contracting, but more for maintenance and repairs.
Okay, this is biased for us. Oh, it's Forbes. Okay.
It's Forbes. So basically, they're saying
it was like home advisor.
Yeah,
it's like of course it's home.
Yeah. So you need repairs, you need plumbing, you need heating, you need HVAC. That's going to happen. Repairs. Most people in a recession, their biggest asset is their home, so they have to take care of it, right? And then you have online reselling as number 2. So like reselling, so hype beasts. I don't know, or buying a cheap product,
secondhand stuff.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So
because people are looking for secondhand.
Cleaning services. So that's going to be, once again, kind of your recurring services. People still need, and they specifically are talking a little bit more business, or as we would say, like commercial, right? So businesses still need sanitization.
B2B versus B2C.
Yeah, B2B, right? Exactly. So like lobbies, bathrooms, carpets, that kind of stuff still has to be taken care of.
Augusta will crush it during a recession.
Yeah, stoked for that.
Yep.
Childcare was next. So people still have children, and they still need to be taken care of during a recession. So that is a good business. And then they just put in the
I wonder if that's because people could get second jobs, so they have to get their kids taken care of.
That would make sense. Or their work hours are different, right? Their schedule gets changed, or they'll take a night shift, or this, that, or the other. So yeah, but that was another one. And then we had online freelance, which I guess, but you have to have like a skill to freelance.
Side hustling, right?
Yeah, right.
People are like, hey, I need this extra cash.
Yeah,
that'll happen.
Yeah, but then it's like working from one gig to the next. It's just like one line in that. I'm like, okay, so it's not really like a recession-proof business. You have to have a skill or a trade that you can sell online.
Oh, okay. See, I was thinking more like what does well in a recession. This is recession-proof.
Well, that's just what they said.
Oh, okay.
That's just the title of the article.
Yeah.
The next is online teaching. So e-learning is continuing to grow, and they're expecting, this was a very interesting line I wanted to read, projected growth for e-learning, online teaching, is going to be from $197 billion in 2020 to $840 billion in 2030. So in 10 years, it's basically going to 4X.
MBAforentrepreneurs.com.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, are like courses included in that? I would assume so.
People are just going to lose, if you compare that, how much is spent on, like, Google this. How much is spent on college and university?
Like average tuition?
Annual. No. Like total. What would you call it? Total market cap? I don't know. Total money spent on, it's gonna be trillion. It's gonna be trillions. It'd be, I would imagine it's probably around $2 trillion a year.
Should I just do like on tuition? Total money spent on
this
college
is tuition. Just tuition
in America.
Just tuition. Yeah, college tuition annual, USA. Let's see what that number is. I'm gonna guess right now it's like 1.5. Wait. Right now you said it was 200 for online.
Well, so basically what the article said In 2020, it was 197 billion.
Okay, so right now it's probably like 300. Okay, it's got to be at least $1 trillion on tuition.
Yeah, see, I knew this would happen. It's giving me like average college tuitions. I know.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna guess.
We need a Jamie.
I'm gonna guess it's way more on college. So what you're just gonna see is a good chunk of that, like 20 or 25%, is gonna move towards online, because people are losing confidence in the piece of paper, as they should. And so, people will learn more. They'll learn faster. They'll learn a much cheaper cost online from home than in a college classroom. Yeah,
I think too. There's some devaluations of college degrees nowadays.
100%.
You have so many like gurus and experts and successful people that are basically like
it's trash.
Whatever.
It's trash, dude.
Yeah. I recently saw a Conan O'Brien sketch where he was speaking. What?
I'm sorry. I'm just joking. Go ahead.
What? You're sorry I saw Conan O'Brien? I actually thought he was good. I think he's one of the late night guys that was actually kind of funny. Personally, I think he appeals to my style of humor. I don't know. But he was speaking at a college graduation, and he just went full on like scorched earth on him, like in a most like comedian way. Yeah. So he's like, congratulations on doing what 90% of other Americans. Trash, dude. And he's like, look at you not looking like those sucker dropouts like Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg. You finished college.
Yeah, and with all the college loan forgiveness stuff, it's just gonna make tuition go up higher.
Yeah. So. All right, next we had accounting, bookkeeping, financial planning. That's a big deal in a recession. People are still going to pay for those services.
Yep.
Next,
because you're trying to save money, right? You're trying to save taxes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next, we have car repairs. So once again, like the maintenance on cars, right? So you're still going to have to pay your tabs. You're still going to have to get your emissions checked. You're still going to have to get tires, brakes. Yep. This one was extremely interesting to me. So the last one is food and beverage business. So we already talked about that. But this one was extremely interesting to me, and I want to read one of the lines. It is the beauty industry.
Yeah, I've heard this too.
So there is something called the lipstick effect.
Yeah.
I never heard of this.
Similar happened right after COVID. A lot of the a lot of the brands for beauty did bad during COVID because everyone had masks.
Yeah.
So they didn't really care about makeup. And then like as the reopening happened, like Stitch Fix and all these other companies that like rented out clothes just crushed. Yeah. Because everyone's like all of a sudden like, oh, I don't have anything in my closet because I have not gone to a event for a year and a half. And like those did great.
Yeah. So this is the direct line from this article. According to the lipstick effect, people tend to spend money on small indulgences like hair salons or nails to compensate for bigger sacrifices during a recession.
Like a vacation.
Or like a spa day, right? It's like, oh, I can't afford a spa day, but I can spend
lipstick.
but I can spend, if I spa days, I don't know. I don't do spa days.
He's like, last weekend, let me see.
I went down to the Chrysalis. I had a nice avocado lime mask. Now I'm just thinking of the guacamole sitting there. But it was just interesting. But I think about it because, like, if say you were a person that indulged in spa days or vacations, like spa is probably what, $200, $500? I don't know, like a massage, right?
Yeah.
But then like, but I can spend $50 to get my nails done.
Right.
Like that
stuff adds up though, dude.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Nails, hair, eyelashes, skin, face, hydrofacials, like. Whew, you spend a lot of money on that stuff.
Dude, just give me my Dove Men Plus Care. Call it a day.
Hair, body, and face.
Dude,
Let's roll,
I'm not that
baby.
guy. I don't do the all-in-one. I've graduated, right? I'm married.
We understand.
I'm married.
We know what you need to buy now. We need to buy your gifts.
Yeah, for real. Awesome, man. Cool. Well, that's honestly all I got.
Let's go, dude.
So,
Pod 5.
Pod number 5.
Still unfiltered. What is it called?
C-Suite Unfiltered.
C-Suite
I don't know.
Unfiltered.
I haven't thought of a better name.
Yeah, I know. We got to get better suggestions, bro.
Just got to do something simple. Yeah, in the comments. Leave a comment. Give us a suggestion,
Episode 5.
please. Yeah.
We got to pick things up.
Peace.
Cool.